Hey guys, in this month's Disney Rewind, we're going to be talking about Tarzan, released back in 1999. Tarzan follows a young man named Tarzan, who, as a baby, his parents were killed, and ever since he's been raised by a group of gorillas. But one day, a group of explorers arrive, and Tarzan has to make a choice. Does he want to stay with his gorilla family, or does he want to return to the human world? So, Stephanie, how did you feel about Tarzan?
I have always enjoyed Tarzan. I always thought it was a good movie. The story was fun, and the songs, I enjoyed all the songs on there, so I like Tarzan.
I think this was only my second time watching Tarzan, to be quite honest.
How's that possible? I've watched it a lot of times on TV.
Well, the only time I've watched Tarzan, I think I was in middle school. That was a long time ago. I think I was in middle school, and my teacher was being lazy one day, and she stuck in Tarzan, and I watched Tarzan, and I think that's the only time I've seen Tarzan until now. So I really didn't have a good recollection about Tarzan. I kind of had just certain images in my head, and you know, I think what stands out about Tarzan the most is the soundtrack. You know, when you think about Tarzan, it's Phil Collins, and the songs that come to mind more so than the plot and the characters, I think, which maybe is a little unfortunate, I don't know. But yeah, overall, I do like Tarzan. It was good, it held my interest, I liked the characters for the most part, and yeah, the songs are definitely a big change up compared to how Disney typically does the music, because yeah, you didn't have characters in there singing songs and whatnot. It was all Phil Collins narrating what was going on. But yeah, I like the whole thing of Tarzan. You know, he's a baby, his parents are killed quite tragically. That was kind of brutal. There was blood. There was actual blood, you guys, from like bloody paw prints from the was he a leopard? Something like that, whatever he is, a leopard. Bloody paw prints, and yeah, his parents in the corner dead. Oh, really brutal and gruesome. And yeah, just Tarzan. It's an interesting thought, you know, a baby being raised by gorillas, and he has no idea about humankind. And yeah, this whole movie is his journey to discovering humankind and discovering who he really is, because he doesn't fit in with the gorillas, and he's often kind of confused about, well, why don't they accept me? Why am I different? And whatnot. So, yeah, it's kind of beautiful there with that message. So, let's get into some rapid-fire questions. Who was your favorite character, Stephanie?
There's not like that one character that stands out to me, really. I mean, I just like every character. I don't know if there's one to really pick and say, oh my god, I adore that character the most.
Tarzan is the type of movie that I pretty much just like Tarzan and Jane and Clayton, and that's kind of it.
Her dad, I guess.
Yeah,
he's silly. He's like,
yeah,
he's so into exploring.
Yeah, I'm not really into the elephant and Turk. If anything, I kind of just found them a nuisance, to be quite honest, because I wish the story was more focused on Tarzan's relationship with Jane and just his relationship with the gorilla world and the human world, you know, because I feel like
the Turk and the elephant were just used as a
comic relief, and they are mostly for children. So yeah, as an adult, they're just a nuisance to me. I don't really care for them. But yeah, if I had to pick a favorite character, while you're thinking of your favorite character, I think my favorite character, I've always just really liked Jane. Because Jane, you know, we were trying to figure out what year this takes place in. Because we couldn't quite tell if it was maybe late Victorian era, or maybe right at the start of the 1900s. But either way, you know, Jane, she comes from this world of social constrictions, and she has to dress a certain way, but yet here she is on this island doing what other women of the time period were not allowed to do, and it wasn't acceptable. And yet she has an interest in exploring and looking at the gorillas and trying to communicate and whatnot. So I love Jane for that she's like ahead of her time, you know, she's not like the other women of her time period. So yeah, Jane's my favorite character.
I don't know. I'll say her dad.
Her dad?
'Cause he's
Mr. Porter?
He's a silly old man. Like, anytime anything dangerous would be happening, he didn't care. He was thrilled that, like, they were going to be, eaten by some vicious all those little monkeys that were chasing everyone around.
He just had him and Jane constantly had enthusiasm for what was going on.
Jane's like, oh, Daddy!
I loved her accent. Minnie Driver has a hilarious... I don't know, there's something about Minnie Driver's accent that I just find amusing. I love her voice. And yeah, her going, Daddy! all the time.
I mean, even at the end, too, he was like, oh, forget it, I'm going to go and live on that island, too. And he's an old man, and he's going to need a doctor in a few more years. I'm worried about his health.
Yeah, Mr. Porter ain't going to last very long on this island, or wherever they're located, like, somewhere in Africa.
He could have told the dudes when they were rowing away, hey,
come back.
Send a ship every half a year or something.
With supplies and medicine.
Make sure I'm not dead.
Well, how do we feel about Tarzan? We've not really talked about Tarzan. How do you feel about Tarzan?
I like Tarzan.
Mm-hmm. I like his exploration of him discovering, I'm not really part of the gorilla world, I'm part of the human world. But he feels more accepted in the gorilla world.
Yeah. I don't think you can go back we don't know how old Tarzan's supposed to be.
How old? That's
he
can't
be a teenager. We were sitting there talking. He can't be a teenager. He's got to be like somewhere in his 20s.
But he don't have a beard. He has to have grown a beard at some point.
I didn't think about that.
He's definitely hit puberty. He has,
Yeah, and I would think with that he would be the same age as Jane.
Yeah, and
if Jane's an explorer like that, I would think she would be more in her...
She seems like she's in her 20s. So he has to be in his 20s, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a good question. These are the thoughts you have while watching a Disney movie.
But anyway, after, 20 years, I would think you can't go live with humans.
Yeah. It's kind of the thing, him and Jane... I feel like the gorilla world is supposed to represent, like... outside of normal society, and it's just much more open and free and carefree. There's no restrictions, where Jane, she'd go back to her world and she'd just be under these restrictions just because she's a woman and whatnot, so. Same with Tarzan. Tarzan would be considered like a freak if he went back to his normal world. He would be placed under restrictions and whatnot. Because I feel like there's a lot of societal things, kind of themes, kind of in there if you think about it. But yeah, I like Tarzan too. His little loincloth. His
loincloth never, like, moved properly.
There were many times. He was in a tree at one point. And he was dangling Jane. And Jane looked up at one point. And Jane had to have got an eyeful. But... the animation, of course, this is a child's cartoon. We can't see none of that. But she did. That's all he's wearing. You guys, that's all he's wearing. It's quite interesting. It's very interesting when you go to, like, Disney World, and if Tarzan's out, it's kind of a little embarrassing. Because the guy, he's just in a little brown thing. Can't help but look. How do we feel about Clayton as a villain?
I liked Clayton. He's funny.
Yeah. I guess
he was over the top sometimes.
Yeah, he's really over the top in classic Disney fashion. Yeah, his big thing, he was just there for poaching and hunting, I think. Right?
Yeah.
He wasn't there for the exploration.
They didn't do a very good job of looking for the right person to protect them. Like, how could they not tell that Clayton was there to go after gorillas?
Yeah. I liked that whole dynamic because the Porters are there for exploration. And, they're very interested and intrigued, it's all new to them. Clayton doesn't care.
Clayton's there for a trophy.
Yeah, Clayton's just there to get his trophy, get some money, and that's it. So I like that whole dichotomy there as well. Oh. And he got hung. You guys, that whole thing, and the rope gets wrapped around his neck. Oh!
We had two violent deaths in a row. We had Bug's Life with Hopper getting ate by a bird, and now we had Clayton
hung himself.
Well, Tarzan.
Yeah, Tarzan kind of done it. That was brutal. Woo! Just see the rope just pull like that.
Yeah, because then you heard.
Yeah. Man. Let's move on to best song. Like we said, no characters are singing, but it's all Phil Collins. What was your favorite Phil Collins song?
That is a difficult question. I think the "You'll Be in My Heart" was my favorite one. I think it's that one. But I also really liked Two Worlds
Yeah.
as well. That was good. But I think my favorite's always been You'll Be in My Heart.
Yeah. I think my favorite is definitely Two Worlds. I like all of them. I mean, I'm not in love with the soundtrack. Like, if someone asked me what's your favorite Disney soundtrack, Tarzan would not come to me first thing. But I do like all the songs. Yeah, I like You'll Be in My Heart and Two Worlds. And then I really like Son of Man. I think that's what that song is called, Son of Man. I really like that. The one song I just don't really particularly like is that one with Turk and them making the ruckus.
Oh, the camp equipment.
Yeah, I mean, that was fine. I just didn't really care for it. Favorite scene?
After Jane's crazy adventure with Tarzan for the first time, and they get back to the camp, and she's trying to tell her dad what happened, and she met this man, that she saw this little baby monkey, and then all of a sudden all these other monkeys came out and chased her, and this wild man saved her or something like that, and then it was like, Daddy! Anyway, that whole scene was fun because she was like chaotic.
Is that the part where she's like, a man in a loincloth?
Yeah, man, and he was like, and her dad was like, what?
A man in a loincloth saved me, Daddy.
But yeah, I liked that part because she was like so frantic and like trying to tell her story, and they were all just sitting there staring at her like, what? What the heck are you talking about?
I think I just liked any scene where Jane was trying to teach Tarzan about the human world, and just, you know, like the little slideshow that she was showing him and his reactions to the slideshow, and yet trying to teach him language, and especially that one scene when they first meet, and he's just mimicking her, essentially. He's just voicing back exactly what she's saying. He doesn't know what she's saying, but he slowly discovers language and whatnot. Yeah, just anything related to him discovering the human world. I liked all those things.
They're trying to teach him how to walk, and he was walking behind Clayton all funny.
Yeah. So, in conclusion, Stephanie, if you had to rank Tarzan on a scale of 1 to 10 Mickey ears, what would you give it?
I would give it, I don't know. I'm there again at like an 8 or a 9.
I think I'll go for an 8 for me with Tarzan.
I guess an 8 too.
Yeah, Tarzan, I like it, I enjoy it, but yeah, it's not up there. It's no Beauty and the Beast or Lion King. You know, it's an acceptable, fine Disney movie. Kind of just an average Disney movie in some ways. You know, not horrible, definitely not horrible, but not amazing either, just kind of average. So, yeah, an 8 for both of us.
Yeah.
8 Mickey ears for Tarzan, you guys. So, you guys, that's it for our discussion on Tarzan. In the comments below, have you guys seen Tarzan? Do you like it? Maybe you hate it. That's okay too. Just let us know your thoughts down below. So, that's it for this video. We hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you like this video, you may like these other videos. Bye, guys.